Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new day of Road to TCG World 2019. We are going to continue with our team up set reviews with a Magikarp Wailord deck, which is not quite as new as the other two that we have featured so far, because Magikarp and Wailord is already available. It already got a top 8 at a regionals over in Dallas, but in the expanded format. And in standard, it has seen play. I even have a video featured on it. Using it with Naganadel and Quagsire, but this is going to be a little bit different because it does feature a few more team-up cards. So this is going to be the deck that we are going to be talking about today. As you can see, it has a lot of Japanese cards, therefore a lot of new cards that we are getting from the team-up set. The 3-1-2 Blastoise line, the Articunos, Eevee and Snorlax as well. So double tag team cards in this deck, along with an Erika's Hospitality and a Muscle Pad. So first of all, we have Magikarp Wailord GX, which should be the tag team that most people are familiar with by now. 300 HP, a really huge amount. Excuse me, a really huge amount. And then with Muscle Pad, as we saw from the Windsor video, since this card does have a 4 retreat cost, you can bring it up all the way to 350, which is a really high amount. Now, Super Splash deals 180 damage and for 5 energy, and that's a very solid number to be hitting. It's really powerful to be hitting for 180 in a format where either you're 2-hit KOing tag teams or you're 1-hit KOing a lot of stuff like Blacephalons, Rayquazas, Tapulele's, etc. And then we have Towering Splash GX, which deals 10 damage, and then if Magikarp Wailord has 7 extra water energy attached to it, this attack does 100 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Now that's a really powerful attack. It's more powerful than expanded when you can pull it off on turn 1. That's definitely not possible in standard, but it could be a nice way to close out a game where your opponent has a few basic Pokemon that they weren't able to evolve, or they have something like a Sudowoodo, and that way you can pick them up on the bench. But it's probably not going to be as useful as in expanded. Now we also have Eevee and Snorlax GX with 270 HP, still a pretty good amount. The first attack, Cheer Up, attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, allows you to power up either itself or Magikarp Wailord a little bit faster. And then we have Dump Truck Press, which deals 120 damage, and if your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, this attack does 120 more damage. So the damage, or the Pokemon that Wailord can't one-hit KO, Eevee and Snorlax probably can, because it hits for up to 240 damage, and that's enough to KO things like Gardevoir, Decidueye, Lycanroc, Zoroark GX. A lot of the evolutions that are seeing played, Dump Truck Press just takes them down. And then we have Megaton Friends GX, which deals 210 damage for the same 4 energy, but if this Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy attached to it, you draw cards until you have 10 cards in your hand. So the extra damage is of course welcome. 210 is a very good number to be hitting, and just getting draw apart from a 1-hit KO is really powerful. Now, I would imagine you draw up to 10 cards and then you take your prizes, or you're essentially gonna finish your turn with at least 11 cards, perhaps even more if you knocked out a GX or a Tag Team GX. Now that covers Snorlax. Next up we have Blastoise. Now Blastoise is here to be able to power up our Pokemon. Its ability, Power Squall. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, and then you choose as many water energy cards you find there and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Now, usually with 13 basic water energy, we're going to be expecting to hit like 1, maybe 2, if we get very lucky, perhaps a 3rd one. But realistically, it's going to be an extra energy or 2 per turn with the ability. It's like you're using Max Elixir every turn, and we all know how exciting it is to find an energy when you're using Max Elixir. Now, finding an energy with Blastoise is going to be awesome. Finding more than one is going to be incredible. And the best part is this ability you can stack. Therefore, you can use more than one Blastoise in a turn. We only play 2, so we maximum can play 2, but having 2 Max Elixirs every single turn seems like a pretty good deal, I would say. And Finally, in terms of Pokemon, we have Articuno, basic non-GX, which is really useful, with ability Blizzard Veil. Now, while this is in your active Pokemon, while this Pokemon is your active, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, you prevent all effects of that card done to your benched water Pokemon. Therefore, it essentially reads, you can't Guzma, Faba, or Plumeria my Pokemon on the bench. More importantly, Guzma, of course, that's the more popular of the three, but since you can't Guzma Squirtles or the Blastoise, you can't Guzma to bring up a Tag Team GX to knock them out. You are forced to deal with Articuno, unless you're playing Escape Rope, you are forced to deal with Articuno before you do anything else. And then the Cold Cyclone attack deals 70 damage, and then you move 2 water energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. So a lot of synergy with a bench protection, and then transferring the energy back because your Articuno will likely go down. Now that's it for the Pokemon. Supporters wise, we have triple Lily, triple Cynthia, double Guzma, and then a single Erika's Hospitality. Erika's Hospitality is a really cool supporters actually. The effect is the same as a very old card called Steven's Advice, which used to be a 4-of pretty much in almost every deck. It was that good. If you have 6 or more hand cards, including this one, you can't play this card. Therefore, if you have 5, right, 5 including Erika's, then you can play it. You draw a card for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play, so you could draw just 1, or you can draw up to 6. Now, usually, the draw 3 effects such as Tierno and How and all of those guys have been neglected from Standard. However, since you get the possibility to draw 4, 5, or even 6 cards with Erika, it's definitely a worthwhile trade-off, because let's think about the possibilities. You can sometimes draw 1 or 2, right? But sometimes you can draw 3, 4, 5, or 6. 3 is the bare minimum, I would say, but then whenever you draw 4, 5, or 6, that's a really good amount, and so that outweighs the risk of only drawing 1 or 2 cards. And we're also not going crazy with the Erika's Hospitality, we are only playing 1. Now finally, items wise, we have 4 Aqua Patch and 4 Ultra Ball. Aqua Patch help us power up our Tag Team GXs so that they can attack. Oh, I forgot to mention Quagsire. Quagsire is in there so that we can transfer energy from the bench to the active, move around our Pokemon. We could be playing perhaps some Ace Roll or Max Potion, but I didn't quite find the space. 4 Aqua Patch to recover energy, 4 Ultra Ball to find the Pokemon that we need, double Brooklet Heal to search for our basic Pokemon. We can search for everything minus the Tapu Lele and the Snorlax and Eevee. We have to switch around to Rescue Stretcher to make sure that we have those Blastoise set up, and perhaps bring back Articuno so that we get some bench protection. 2 Energy Recycle System to recycle energies from the deck, replenish our deck with waters, and therefore Blastoise could end up finding like 3 or 4, maybe even 6 in the late game. 2 Muscle Pads to increase our GX's HP to make them last for as long as possible. A single Choice Band to increase our damage output, and triple Rare Candy to get those Blastoises out. 13 basic water energy round out the deck, and that is what we are going to be probably playing on the day that Blastoise and the team up set comes out. I'm probably going to try to do a very long stream, like a 8-hour, perhaps more stream, and we're definitely going to be taking a look at this deck then. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, it really helps out the channel, guys. Content will be picking up a lot more once we get the new set. I'm waiting for that. And yeah, thank you so much for your support. Be back tomorrow for a new Rayquaza Vikavolt deck. I think Vika Ray is going to be making a pretty strong comeback into the meta, and that's what we'll be reviewing for tomorrow. Thank you guys so much, and until next time.